What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. So last weekend I basically left off with the car getting its first layer of primer, or getting its first coat of primer. So ever since then my dad has gone through and actually laid down another coat of primer on the front half and finished up priming the interior. So everything is completely primed. It's basically ready for base coat. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do today is actually prep the primer, or prep the surfaces for base coat. Primer lays down really thick and it kind of builds up a surface on top of it, and especially like good quality primers, they'll kind of fill in a little bit of the imperfections, you know. So with that being said, a lot of times with primer it kind of leaves this really like rough sandy surface. With it being extremely rough, that sometimes will actually show on the paint surface. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually go through, and I'm just going to use a scuff pad or Scotch-Brite and actually just scuff everything and kind of break down that top like dusty sandy surface. So I do want to kind of make it a little bit smoother than what it is, just because a little bit of area stayed a little bit rougher than I wanted to, you know. So what I'm going to work on first is the very visible areas. Then I'm actually going to go through and get a bucket of water mixed with purple power, and then just go through and wipe down every single surface that is going to get base coat. And that's just a way of cleaning all of the surface off, getting a lot of the dust with it, and also degreasing the surfaces with the purple power. So I'm just kind of doing a couple things all at once by doing that. So hopefully that'll just save me some time. I don't know if the camera shows it, but basically if I scuff this, you'll start to see some of the dust that forms. So yeah, so basically that's all I'm gonna be doing, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna work out right now, just so I can make sure it does get as smooth as I want it to be, you know. So yeah, so that's already a huge improvement right there. So yeah, basically I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so here's an update on where I'm at right now. So I just finished scuffing up pretty much the entire engine bay. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is get the bucket of water, fill it up with some purple power, and then start wiping everything down with the scuff pad. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'm going to continue on working on the rest of the front end, and then I'm going to work my way into the interior, just basically doing the same process to the interior. So I mean, it's very straightforward stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get working on that, try to get everything finished, just because the interior is what is going to be the most time consuming part, because you can see how much there is compared to the engine bay, obviously. The only thing is, with the engine bay, I am actually just taking a little bit more attention and a little bit more time into that, just to make that look a little bit better. But with the interior, I'm not going to go too crazy into it. I'm basically just only going to use the bucket of water and purple power and wipe everything down. Again, it will be a really time-consuming process, but I'm going to make it easier on myself and only go over everything one time, and I'm just going to go ahead and try to be as thorough as I can with this one time that I clean it, because after this it's basically just going to get wiped down with the tack cloth, and yeah, that's about it. So this cleaning needs to be pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. So I will get back with you guys when I have an update here. And I don't know if I mentioned this in last week's video, the primer that I'm using is a urethane primer, so whenever we sprayed it we did have to mix it with hardener, so it is a pretty good quality primer, will be really protective and everything like that. That's why I wasn't really concerned at all with sanding stuff or going at it with a scuff pad, just because I know it's very durable primer, so I wasn't too worried about it. The sun is about to go down right now, so just checking in one last time. So I mean, there's not really much to show you, I guess, just because it's gonna look exactly the same as it did this morning. It's just that now it's completely clean. Like, all the surface that you're looking at right there, it's basically ready to get base coat already. And really quick, I have the microphone pointed forward. I did turn the microphone up a little bit so you can kind of hear this, so hopefully you guys can hear the difference in like how smooth and rough the material is. So this is something that I did go over with a little bit more attention, and I did spend a little bit more time on this. So that's really smooth. And something over here, so you guys, so I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's just to kind of show you guys the huge difference that it did make whenever I did go over all of these surfaces and clean everything up. So it really does make a difference. So yeah, so I pretty much got all that done. Again, there's really not much that I can show you. There's really not much that you guys can actually like see, or you guys can't really tell that I got anything done today, but as it sits right now, it is ready for base coat. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up. I'm gonna head out of here now, and I will be back first thing in the morning tomorrow. So I will get back to you guys tomorrow. I am super excited right now. Luckily for you guys, it will be the next clip. So, see you guys then. Alright, so it is now Sunday morning. I just got over to my parents' house. Today is the day. We're finally going to lay down some base coat, and you guys get to see what color the engine bay and the interior is going to be. Alright, and for those of you guys who do want to know, I am going to be spraying a 2-par paint, and as you can see there, the color is Nardo Gray, off of like Audis, so you can kind of see the sample there. So that is the color that I'm spraying. Kind of looks weird here in the shade. Yeah, it kind of looks weird on camera actually. So I am super hyped right now. So I'm basically just going to start off getting the car uncovered and then just go at everything with the tack cloth, and from there we can basically start mixing up some paint and spraying. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on all of that, just wiping everything down with the tack cloth. And the main idea with a tack cloth, basically all it is just a cloth that is just really tacky, just like it sounds, and the whole idea of it is to wipe everything down and get any sort of dust, debris, dirt, all of that stuff, and get that off right before spraying. So before you spray anything, you definitely want to wipe it down with this, just to kind of get rid of debris and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that, and I will get back to you guys with an update. Alright, so I just got done tack clothing everything. So here are the tack cloths, all dirty, and they have a bunch of stuff all over them, you know, just a bunch of like lint and dirt and all that. So yeah, the tack cloths did a good job. Alright, so I just took a step back. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now because of the air compressor, but basically what is going on right now, my dad is currently laying down the first base coat in the interior, and the reason why we're doing that is because you can kind of tell, but it's really windy out right now, so we kind of wanted to stay away from spraying the engine bay just because that's in the outside. It'll get messed up really quick, it'll get dusty, and it'll just ruin the finish. So we might save that for another day if the wind doesn't clear up by the time the sun goes down. I'd rather wait just so I can make sure that I do get a pretty good finish instead of rushing it and possibly ruining all the hard work I've done, you know? If the wind clears up, then yeah, we're definitely gonna go at the engine bay. But if not, we'll save it for another day. Since obviously the interior won't get much of the wind, that's why he's just went ahead and started spraying the interior. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. Alright, so there you go. So the wind did actually calm down quite a bit, so you can see my dad obviously sprayed the engine bay and the front end. It definitely looks a lot lighter on camera, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, Nardo Gray. This is the Nardo Gray off of Audi's. So yeah, it's a pretty dark color. A lot darker than I thought it was gonna be, honestly. But it looks good. I am super happy with it. Look at that. Looking good. Yeah, I am super stoked. And here's the interior. I know on camera it probably doesn't look much different than when it was primed, just because, I mean, it's all gray. The only thing that is missing is the trunk. So, I don't know if you can tell how light that is compared to all of this. So everything besides the trunk is fully sprayed, has the base coat on there. I'm super happy with the way it came out, honestly. Yeah, this is way better than I thought it was going to look, honestly. So basically the only thing that is left is the trunk. I think we are just going to spray some base coat on the trunk, and then we might save a clear coat for tomorrow. So I'm probably going to come over tomorrow after work and then help my dad spraying the clear coat on there. But I will for sure get back to you guys when I have an update here. Alright guys, checking in again here. So my dad is currently spraying the trunk right now. So as you guys can see, he's currently spraying the trunk right now, and yeah, after he gets the trunk fully sprayed, that's basically everything. Everything is covered with base coat. Well, actually, that's a lie. One last thing is this right here. So this is the actual like bracket that goes across here, along with that one right there, which just goes vertically right here. And after that, we're done spraying base coat, so that's it. So trunk just got its coat. Everything is looking good over here. So everything on the car right now has base coat on it. The trunk, the entire front end, the interior, everything. Right now he's just going through a couple spots over again, just to make sure that there's nothing missing, you know. So right now he just hit the trunk, and he just went through the interior. Alright, so we are completely done with base coat. So everything is now painted, and everything is now Nardo gray. So yeah, I'm super hyped with the way everything came out. It's looking way better than I imagined it. Yeah, I don't know if the camera is getting the color all that well, but kind of take a look. Super stoked on the way it came out though. Here's the trunk. So you can see everything is Nardo, all sprayed. Look at that. And of course, the rest of the interior is Nardo as well. Everything came out so good. I'm super stoked on it. So there you go. Everything is now completely sprayed. It has the base coat on there. Everything from the trunk and the interior all the way to the front end is now Nardo, and yeah, I'm super stoked with the way it came out. I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning up, just because we need to let everything like fully dry before we actually start spraying clear coat. And I think I might come back tomorrow and help him out. We might spray the clear coat tomorrow, if not sometime later on this week. So I'm going to wrap this video up here, just because I did try to get a little bit more content this weekend, because I know I have been slacking lately. So I did want to make sure that I did show you guys everything that was going on with the paint, just because this is what I've been excited for such a long time now. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys are looking forward to seeing the rest of this project and seeing this car come back to life, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy the video, if you guys do like the color. If you don't like it, I don't care. I love it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.